it's recording.
We're recording.
Yep.
Just have to remember to shut it off.
Yeah. All right, so this is the Southampton Board of Health meeting on October 24th, 2018. We have myself, Ben Hogan, the chair present, Shelley O'Connell present, we have Sharon Hart present, and with us we have our town administrator, and we have Matt Rowland, our select board liaison, and we have Jerry Swanson, our health director. So we'll call the meeting to order at 6:33 p.m. Open time for the public. All right. All right. Transfer station updates.
No.
There is no new transfer station updates.
Did we ever find where that grant money, what account that grant money went into?
From Vicki, she was going to check on that, so I'll check on, was that which grant money are you talking about?
The DEP grant money.
I'll check with her tomorrow on that.
Alrighty. And anything else?
No.
Shelley, do you have anything?
No.
All right. Health director updates.
The update tonight, we are going to be looking at the Pay Equity Act. I think you wanted to specifically focus your meeting.
One sec here. Is this thing, does anyone know how good this records? Because I assume it's facing me, so do you want to join us at the table just so you can make sure you're heard? At the mic, I don't know if it's going to hear everything.
Yeah, it records. I don't know how good the audio.
Yeah, it's good. All right.
Tonight's meeting was going to be specifically about the Pay Equity Act, and you wanted to concentrate on that tonight in terms of any updates since your last meeting. Things have gotten busier because it stopped raining and people are coming literally out of the woodwork. A lot of turnovers, houses and real estate, that sort of thing.
So Title V?
Mm-hmm. Title V, more septic plans, we've had some housing issues, and then it'll calm down again, hopefully, through the holidays. But, yeah, I know. You can hope.
Yeah.
All right, so focusing on the pay equity, I know Matt Rowland was with us when we met last month about it, and we've done, Ed here was going to look over the building inspector for us.
So should we okay the minutes?
Yeah, do you want to do the minutes first? Okay, we'll just sort the minutes.
I did sign on these.
Let me see the ones.
Session.
Can I read your executive session?
I have two here for the 4th of October. Do you have one for the 4th of October? You do. Mm-hmm. Do you have one, Matt, for the 4th of October?
No.
That's you, Jerry?
This one was, and then the other one I need.
Yep, no, this is just an extra one. She wasn't here for that executive session.
Oh, this was the land one, yeah.
Oh, whatever happened with the preparedness planner coordinator? We were going to invite them to this meeting.
They couldn't come to this meeting, but they will be coming. They gave me 2 potential dates. And if I don't have it with me, it's probably down on my desk.
The day of the exec minutes.
The day of the executive minutes.
Okay.
to go down and check. I think it was either going to be the 6th or the 13th
November.
of November.
So we'll try to make our next meeting one of those 2 dates.
I think the 6th, probably, I don't know. We're getting into the long weekend and then the holiday with Thanksgiving.
Actually not working on the 6th.
So that would work for you.
Matt, when's your guys' next meeting? Next month?
13th?
Well, no, our next meeting's next week.
Well, yeah, the 30th.
Yeah, our next meeting's on the 30th. And then after that, it's the 13th.
You guys are the 30th.
30th and 13th.
So the 6th might work.
Hey,
I'd like to get to your guys' meeting at some point, just to do a update
right?
for now.
Yeah,
just,
they've actually got a schedule.
Just on what's going on.
Take a look at
it's
it,
usually gone before 6.
send it to you.
But you had to hit
That
it.
they have grouped departments and boards together to come in and give quarterly updates.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, and I don't think it's the next,
Yeah,
I don't think it's the first meeting in November. I'll take a look at it.
Nice, so there's going to be a regular...
Regular rotation.
Excellent.
We did that when you first came, I
Right.
remember that, and then it
Yeah.
kind of phased out.
Fizzled for a little.
Yeah, and it was good.
For the meeting, did somebody mention the 6th?
Yeah.
That's for the, yeah,
Not that it matters, but I won't be able to do that. It's the 6th. I know we don't have a select board meeting, I just have a previous.
yeah, it's just the Hampshire Public Health and Preparedness Plan. Our coordinators just come in to talk to us about stuff, so. Okay.
All right. So, did you make a motion for the minutes? To accept the minutes? You did?
I did not motion it yet, no. I can, though, want me to do
Yeah,
that?
sure.
I motion to accept the minutes on the executive session and also accept the minutes on the October 4th Board of Health meeting.
I will second those.
All in favor?
I can't do the
No, you can't do
executive
executive, but you
session,
can do the,
But the other ones I
Yeah.
can.
Opposed? All right. So the minutes are...
Nicole's not.
Nope, Nicole's
Nicole's
here.
not here now. Did Nicole have anything at all before we get into this, Jerry?
No.
No, okay, nothing's changed.
Busy, busy, busy.
No, she's really busy.
Yeah,
Should be fine.
it's that time of year. Okay.
All right, now the minutes, all right, so back to health director with the pay equity. Do you want to start off, Shelley? You want me to start off?
You can start off.
So, Ed, thanks for coming.
welcome.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So we were, there's a new law that came into effect July of
2008.
2018.
Well, it was enacted in 2016, became effective 2008.
And our employee, Jerry Swanson, brought it to our attention that she felt that her position fell in with this law. So we've been comparing. She feels that she was at the same level as the building inspector, so that's why we reached out to you to try to figure it out. And you reached out to town council and gave us some guidance paperwork. So we've been working on that, and asked you to work on that. So that's kind of where we at right now.
Okay. So how do you want to go through this?
I don't know. It's new to me.
Well, I think you were supposed to fill out the, that Appendix A,
And
right?
that's what I did for the building inspector,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Perfect.
And that's what we did here. That's, yeah.
All right. So, I mean, going through them, we looked at the job descriptions, we took into account the job descriptions,
Yeah.
and then the town had, I'm gonna mess up the name, so I will, with Don Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Don Jacobs, so the town did that a few years ago, they did that with the ranking system for different grades. And then
Which was not adopted by the town.
Right, but it was provided, right, we
Yeah.
understand it wasn't adopted, but that's what they felt it was. And then
Yep.
we looked at the job descriptions and compared them, and we have a comparison of the job descriptions, and though they're not identical, they're very very similar like work with responsibilities, and we feel there's definitely a issue with the difference in pay in the, for what's forward, so that's trying to move forward with that. And
Yeah, I did. I just pulled up
Yeah.
these two,
All
that's
right.
all, from last meeting.
And I did look through the building commissioners, and I did look through what I had that Jerry had sent me that was approved for her own. I still had a couple of gaps of what, if anything, was the split between duties of the actual health director and the health agent. Okay. Because in some cases I found some of the things similar, and in some instances I found some differences. The building commissioner actually has statutory requirements that have to be in play to be hired, which a health
be
director
hired?
to fill the position, which the health director doesn't. I had sent you, I think, that information along with what I had.
By statute.
Is it in their job description for the
What's
building
that?
inspector? Is it in the job description?
It's actually state statute. It
Oh, okay.
has statutory experience and certification requirements for the building commissioner, building inspectors. Of at least 5 years of experience in the supervision of building construction or design, or in the alternative bachelor's degree in a field related to building construction or design, or any equivalent combination of education, training, and experience which provides the required knowledge, skills, and abilities to perform the essential functions of the job. These are the minimum requirements set forth in General Laws, Chapter 143, Section 3. Experience in a municipal setting preferred. So that was, and then also required by the state statute, state certification as a building inspector, building commissioner. This is required by General Laws, Chapter 143, Section 3. That's a set of 6 different tests.
Okay.
Right. So that was one of the differences that I found in the two. Education, training, and experience. We're supposed to take into effect any special licenses, certifications, etc. That go along with those. You can count years of experience in the trade towards that experience, but that could be a part of the difference. One of the pieces with the building commissioner piece, even to take the test, there's a Corey check requirement to take those tests before you move on. I don't believe that there's anything in the laws about the health director position.
Does the town have one? I mean, what's the town's requirement when you hire somebody? Do you go through?
No, this is the state. This is the state requirement.
State statute.
Okay.
To even take
there's
the
nothing.
Oh, to take the building inspector to sit for the test?
It's-
to sit
oh,
for the
to
test.
take the
Okay.
We're
test.
Exactly.
specifically,
Okay.
by statute, not required to be certified health officers. There's a
Right.
statute that says
Yes,
that.
and I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's going to change.
Yeah, we can't require
coming.
that. I mean, someone could be, but you
Right.
can't
But you
require
can't
that.
require it. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think that's coming down the
Yeah,
pike.
so they're
But
right
these are the
now,
differences in the job description.
Right
Job
Right now, the
description.
state,
so right now, so they are changing that to have a requirement for the health director, but it hasn't gone through yet, so.
Okay. Building commissioner exerts independent authority. The authority actually sits with the Board of Health and not the health director. Enforcement comes into both, respectively. I think enforcement is an art rather than a science, and I think both individuals need to be tactful in how they do it. The building commissioner is required to have technical knowledge of the building codes. That's a requirement. And one of the other differences that I see is the building commissioner is required to go out at 2 o'clock in the morning any day there is 24/7. If there is a fire in a residence or a commercial building, or if a car goes into the building, to ascertain whether that building is still habitable, habitable or usable or not.
I mean, a health director can be dispatched at any hours of the night.
Same thing.
Especially for fires, if there's displaced animals, if there's any public health issues, so they're on call 24/7.
They can be, yeah.
They are.
They are.
They are. It's not they
Yeah.
can be, they are.
Yeah. And then one of the probably biggest differences I found was in the health director's job description. It calls for the health director to be a registered sanitarian or a registered sanitarian by a date certain assigned
Right.
by the board. And I don't know if you're a registered sanitarian.
No, but the other thing is I found just recently the job description that I was hired under. So I should probably give you a copy of this.
You sanitarian. There's how many?
They're not requiring that.
Yeah,
They're
how many-
not.
For them anymore, they're kind of
There's-
phasing out of
there's
that.
no
That's
more.
changed.
Yeah, that's changing.
There's really no more.
So there was some certification that was happening, that there's a couple of health
Give Sharon's background.
Yes,
health,
Okay, all right.
associations across the state. So one health association wanted to support like the certified health officers and promote that, and then you'd have to go to their training in order to get certified. Then there was another one, the registered sanitarian, but they're pulling away from having that, and there's a special commission now looking at what that certification should be. So there is training though through BU, the certification for
Right.
health. So,
But even that being said, even if Jerry was hired under this, I know the
That's
job
what she's-
description was rated here, was the one that is sitting in front of me that requires that. So,
Yeah.
you know, my anticipation would be that's been pulled out. So does that actually,
Sanitation.
the registered sanitarian, so does that make this not a, or less, not really a comparable position?
Because they don't require it.
Yes.
Do you want to touch on like certifications for like health director? I mean, we have Jerry's CV with her certifications, but I mean, she does like MAVEN monitoring, so she's certified to use the MAVEN, which
Yep.
is the state database for communicable diseases.
ServSafe.
for NIMS, like all required for NIMS for, we're part of the
Emergency
public health
preparedness.
for the incident command system, which I don't think the building inspector is, so that's an added.
Yeah, I would say that those may be comparable, because for the building inspector, let's see.
So yes.
He has a CSL, he has...
I don't know what it's CSL.
Yeah,
It's-
construction
Okay.
supervisor
Construction
supervisor
supervisor.
license, which is
But
a
that wasn't
requirement.
required.
Yeah, he's also done the certifications for lead certification. He's done the certification for, it's not emergency management, but hazard mitigation. So actually, he is eligible. He could go down to Lawrence and fill in there. So I mean, I think probably from that aspect, they have some similar certifications.
so what does he have for, does he have a bachelor's or a master's? Jerry has a bachelor's and a master's. I'm just wondering if, you know,
No, but don't forget.
and certifications.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
got the certifications as far as the statutory requirement. It's 5 years in the trade or 4 years design. And like I say, you can also count his experience in the trades as experience in the job. So he's got roughly, he's got about 25 years of experience.
Yeah. And I don't want, so we're talking about this, but this is the job description and the comparison, and I don't want it to be, I'm feeling like, I don't want it to come across as if, you know, he's not
We're not trying to say
qualified
someone's
and, you know,
more
and
than
more
others.
qualified,
Yeah.
and it's just a comparison, not,
Right.
you know,
Absolutely.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
that she has has an educational background
Right.
that we're weighing,
experience.
and
Yeah,
an experience that we're weighing into, not to say that that's, like, 25 years and all the certifications are great.
Right.
So,
So you're counting his time in the private sector as well.
I think
that's
that
what
what you
you
said,
said,
yeah.
I mean, it says you can count the experience in the trade. Yeah. So, I mean, if you had, if you had,
Experience in the private sector.
well, if you had experience in the private sector in health, I would say that can count.
That can count.
Yeah.
Is it, here you go. That's her, that's the experience with the resume.
Let me give this to Matt. Do you have copies of
And here,
both
did you get
job
this one?
descriptions?
The side by side?
I can give you one.
You do, okay. This was the Appendix A that everybody's supposed to do. And these are all of the statutes that we are required
Yeah,
to be
this is
familiar
what
with.
Jerry has enforced, so.
So these are the codes that we are required to be familiar with.
And that's the comparison we came up with.
So you did one too, Ed? Can we get a copy of yours?
may
I'll
certainly
make
have one.
copies for
Oh,
everybody.
you don't have to.
I don't want to waste trees. If we can share it.
Okay.
And already wasted trees.
And already wasted. I think
Thanks,
there-
Ed.
Well, I know that, well, we don't have the CHO exam yet required, so I can't compare that.
Yeah, like I say, there are some subtle differences, but the major difference I saw was the requirement of the job description, and what Jacobs had done to compare them was the registered sanitary piece.
Is that, did it say it? I mean, I didn't see it in there where it said registered sanitary. Like, it wasn't in the Jacobs description. I didn't see that pop out as a huge. They just have the grade 5 here.
Yeah.
As the minimal education and the years of experience. It doesn't list anything about
It doesn't need this here.
certifications
Hold on, let me see.
or anything like that.
What they're looking at.
What I had seen from
May not have that.
Yeah,
the summary that I had,
Yeah,
it
it's
was,
the only-
it was based on a similar
yeah,
job
just
description.
registered sanitary,
Right.
kind of a archaic, I think there's a commission currently trying to
I know.
outfield,
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Board of Health field.
I think you have that, don't you?
What are you looking for?
in here, what
The grading?
No, where did you say the registered sanitarian?
I said he saw it in a copy of something he had. but
Yeah, well,
I've never seen.
Well, I know it was in
Was it in
The
our job
job
description, our original job descriptions?
the job description, and then an earlier job description that I had that
This is
Jerry had
the final-
sent me, this
that's
was the
the-
updated one that you had approved afterwards.
Oh, so this is not going to be in this one, because this is our updated one that we did.
So. you
Yeah, the
didn't- you
updated
didn't
one
have
has it
ours.
in here.
Which one did they?
Under a
It's
special
not-
requirement.
Not required under Don Jacobs, but And I think it was left as,
Within a date to be determined.
Yeah.
So it's, and that's, I
But
think we
that's-
did that because they were going away with it, so it's harder to find the test, harder to sit for the test, so.
but the CHO exam, you don't get to
That's
take
not
it
in
open
here.
book.
Right.
And the building inspector exams or the commissioner exams are open book and multiple choice. So there's a difference in the exams.
But that's not it, CHO isn't in here.
No.
Registered sanitarian is though.
Well, because you cannot require the CHO.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
Right
plus, but
now.
you can't require it.
Right.
Right, now that might change or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to change.
All the trees.
They're revamping the exam right now.
Matt, you got anything to chime in on?
No, yeah.
So I guess, I mean, it's,
I mean, I'm happy to reach back out to what we.
yeah, so I mean,
found to the
I feel,
town council.
we feel as a board that that this does qualify for that law. We feel that, I mean, there's a huge pay gap between the two. It's over a $20,000 difference pay gap.
Right.
And we feel for about the same, not the same.
It actually
but the
breaks
same
down to
type.
about 18 if
Oh,
you
right.
factor
Yeah.
out the
Right.
hours.
Yeah.
So,
Don't get tricky with it.
I know exactly what it
so
is.
$10 an hour difference, we'll call it that.
Yeah,
There we go. We'll call it that.
exactly, yeah. That's
No,
the easiest way, that's the
So
easiest way to do
there's a
it.
$10 an hour gap, and so we
7 cents.
feel this falls under the mass law. We're obligated to follow the mass laws,
Mm-hmm.
the Attorney General's office. So we just want to work with you guys, because obviously we want to like wave a wand,
Yeah.
and we know how the town is hurting financially, so we want to, but,
I understand. And like I say,
So-
the major difference I found was that registered sanitarian piece. So I can take that back to town council. The other thing is, like I say, I don't know how the health director and health agent
Breakdown.
positions were broken down. No, I have said, some of the things are probably comparable, like the work environment or whatever. For the building commissioner, we've figured that he's probably in the office about 40% of the time and out in the field 60% of the time. Now, whether that's true for the health director of how those positions are broken up, I don't know.
Why are we talking about the health agent, though?
just subtle
Aren't we-
differences.
There- Differences.
Well, and I still feel, here's my point to chime in, I still feel like this town is too small to have both. I think we should have one health director, combined health agent.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you could shadow us for a day
Sure.
and see what
could,
happens. It's really
Right.
busy.
I mean, that is
Sharing.
a piece.
Right.
Has this been broken into two pieces and even if
There was always
there's
two
a
positions.
second
It was always two
person?
positions, then it boiled down to one
And-
for a
yeah.
period of time.
And I mean, in a sense, if you look, since Jerry's been hired, and I know we were just focusing on the job descriptions and the ratings, but
Right.
but since she's been hired,
Since we've had two.
since we've had two people, since we've had a director and agent, we've almost doubled the, how much money the Board of Health brings into the town, or how much the health department brings in. So it's obviously more efficient, or more profitable for the town
Well,
to have the two people.
Careful how you say profitable.
Right.
Because if
Yeah,
the net
yeah,
difference
right.
is a negative, it's
Right.
not profitable.
Right.
And if you actually get into the fee
Yeah.
structures and whatever,
Right.
we're not supposed to make.
Right.
We're
We
supposed
don't
to
make
we're supposed to
money.
cover our costs.
We do
Yeah,
cover our
yeah,
costs,
right.
though,
But right,
in
that's
that
it.
Yeah.
department,
Yeah.
but everything goes into the general fund.
Right.
More efficient, there we go. More
Right,
efficient.
exactly. There you go.
And
That's a
so
good term.
Yeah.
the department doesn't see any return at all, even though there were significant raises
Yes.
given out. And it didn't include the health department. So, it's sort of time, I think, for the town to step up a little bit. We're just not going to be able to get qualified people. Other towns are having difficulties too.
Well, they keep changing all these rules and regulations, there's no doubt about it.
There are a lot of rules and regulations we have to know.
So before we
So,
go,
yeah, does the building commissioner supervise anyone? Is there anybody that?
Yes, 2, a gas and plumbing inspector, which is 1, and an electrical inspector, and also an alternate under each one of those. Plus, there's, he supervises 1 volunteer, non-paid individual in the office. So, I mean, a little difference there, but yeah.
But he doesn't have day-to-day supervisory oversight over the electrical inspector or plumbing inspector. I mean,
Well, if he's getting they work under him, so if he's getting complaints that the inspections aren't getting done or the people haven't gotten their permits or
right,
whatever.
he might get
Yeah.
on calls or
Right.
whatever,
Yeah.
but I mean, they're...
So where do we go from, so you're finding subtle differences, we're finding subtle differences, but we do think that there is an issue with the pay gap.
Yeah.
We'd like to move forward with that, so.
Right, well, like I say, from
Well, yeah,
from
what do you recommend as
my
an act?
perspective, at least from what I've seen, probably the major portion of that is in that registered sanitarian piece. Again, I don't know what the breakout of is between what Jerry's duties as far as inspections are and being out in the field and the health agent either.
Yeah.
But like I say, I'm happy to
Yeah.
take back what
Yeah, I mean,
we discussed tonight.
Yeah, anything the health agent can't get to, that's where Jerry comes in, and anything that Nicole does in the field, Jerry does all of the behind-the-scenes work, all the
She only has
paperwork.
10 hours a week,
Right.
so
Yeah.
she's not doing
So,
a
she's out there pounding
significant
the ground.
portion.
I mean, do you share the duties, or like
Yes.
a mix, or, I mean, I know pretty much just from talking to you last year, it seemed like you were pretty much doing the restaurant inspections from some of our conversations on one of the local establishments that we won't go into. But like, I mean, is it who all is available, like on whether it's a perk or a septic or?
She does some, and she does, the majority of her time is spent with Title V inspections, and she might do the perk tests. If she's not available, because she only has 10 hours, then I do it.
Okay.
I review plans, just the same as Tom reviews plans.
Right.
A lot of times I do inspections with Tom and with the fire chief, because there's overlapping issues.
Sure.
I mean, Nicole's great. She's
Yeah.
wonderful to work with. I would like to have her a lot more
hours,
activity
right?
work on that, too.
really good.
She's very good. She's very good.
Excuse me, Ben, if I can interject for a minute, you got a difficult situation.
Do we have to, one sec, do we have to hear the public person in a meeting, do we have to make a motion to hear it? Because public time is over. I'm just trying to follow the rules, I don't
I'm
know.
just trying to give you
Yeah.
something as a guideline.
Yeah.
This is the Attorney General. Obviously, you're not going to have 2 comparable, exactly, the same types of things going, but this is basically what you're dealing with in looking and comparing skills, responsibility, and so forth. It's a guideline that allows you to put in context the types of comparisons that you've been trying to deal with here, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You need some kind of guidance document, and that is provided by the Attorney General's office.
Want to see this?
It makes things a little easier for you.
I mean,
Should
if
he state name
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
and address
Yeah.
for the...
Yeah.
Yeah, can you say your name, Gary?
Right.
You do your
State
name
your
and
name
address
just
for
for
the
the
camera.
recording.
Oh. I-
Sure they've heard everybody on camera. It's right behind you. Everyone knows who you are, just.
Gary Swanson, 72 East Street.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Hey.
So,
So if I look down just the self-evaluation on the Appendix A, it says that the building commissioner regularly works over his 35 hours. I do too, but a lot of my work, because it's constant interruptions, I have to take it home, so I don't get paid. But if I don't do it, you're behind her and behind her and behind her. So it's, sort of a catch-22. I don't like a passive-aggressive attitude where you just don't do the work. That's not appropriate either. Enforcement skills are an art. I think the difference is we're not required statutorily to have certain credentials, and that's one reason for the special commission looking at that right now. So I fully expect that will change shortly.
So where do we go?
So
from
what's
here?
our,
Yeah,
so
where do we go from
yeah,
here?
that's-
Because we can sit here for
we
an
can,
hour.
Some
like I said,
guidance.
Yeah, we'll go back
Like
to
I
town
say,
council.
yeah, as long as you tell me that it's just whoever's available, does the perks, the Title Vs, what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like perk testing, if, like, it can take a long time to get a perk, so that can chew up those 10 hours
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
that Nicole
Sure.
has, so that taps into Jerry's work that she
Right.
does in the office,
Yeah.
now she has to make up for the few.
and quite
that
often,
Nicole did, too.
quite often we're not open on Fridays, and we've gotten calls on a Friday, and Nicole's not able to do it because she's got other things that she's doing. She's got another job with the farm.
Right.
So it's had to fall on
Jerry,
Jerry to
okay.
go in and take care of it.
Sure. Yeah, so I'll just take what we've discussed tonight
Okay.
back to town council.
Keep me clued in on that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm happy to do it.
And then, any questions from you, Jerry, on
No,
what's
just,
going on? I know.
Thinking we have to update our, emergency preparedness plans. If there's a public health emergency, then the health director ends up being the incident commander or the public information officer, which you truly have to be very tactful in
Yes, you do.
situations like that.
Yes, you do. I'm familiar
there's
with
a-
that role.
Very.
Very.
Okay.
So, alrighty.
Yeah. No,
So we'll wait to hear from town council, we'll
Yeah, well,
move
thank-
forward
yeah,
from
No,
there.
thank you for going.
Yeah, thank you for
through your
coming.
side of it.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
absolutely,
welcome.
yeah, thank you for working with us.
So did you get all of Jerry's information that you need, like the resume and the information
we
that
gave you
you
the rest of
have?
that.
I don't think I've got the resume, but I've got,
Well, you can have my
So you can have my copy too, I've got lots of
I've
copies.
got, I've got the breakdown of it.
So that's what she has to enforce.
Oh, okay.
No, the resume might be,
This is the resume right here, correct?
Want to make a copy of it?
no,
or-
I
Oh,
just
great.
did an
He's got it.
updated one.
Oh, okay.
So
Do you have the
they have it.
comparison?
They have
You did
that?
right?
Yeah.
So I've got this
You
comparison.
have that one, and
I've
then-
got this one.
This is the comparison of the
The side-by-side.
side by side of the job descriptions.
Okay.
Just kind of, it's a nice little
Okay.
friendly.
Okay. Yeah, I cheated once I got the document I sent you converted, and I just said, okay, it's converted, I'm just going to go in here and type in the information, rather than recreate anything else.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I did it so
we're
you could
smart
go
enough
down
for
and
that.
highlight if, somebody wanted
Right.
to.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so
Great.
we'll keep chugging along on this, and, all right, so that's done. So we'll get on to, FY19 budget.
FY19 budget, again, we're not going to be fully funded for the year, but the Finance Committee knew that when we did our budget in the spring. We put in, our request was for about, I think it was around, I don't know if I have it, 51,000, but they level funded us. So we were not adequately funded. Yeah, I think, well, we asked for about 64, I guess, plus our expenses and then the Sharps program. So we're going to be short on wages this year.
All right.
And I suppose you can furlough Nicole and
We'll figure out when we
myself.
get there.
Or we can go back to the Finance Committee prior to are we having a November town meeting?
Probably won't be November.
December,
I
maybe?
anticipate we'll probably need one either in December or
Yeah.
January.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is typical. We
Okay.
do this, go back and see them after
Right.
free cash is certified.
We
and-
can get it in
Yeah.
with finance before.
And all the salary line items were basically level funded across the board, so.
Ready.
So we're next.
Can you ask
This year.
Vicki to send me a report? You know, usually you send out the reports of the expenses and stuff. You know,
I
periodically.
just sent.
You did send it to me?
I sent you the last expense report, but they don't have the revenue report yet.
Right.
I'm waiting for
Okay.
that. But our revenue
It's supposed to be done.
for the end of last year, we estimated 45,000, and we brought in 43,000 something. I think we were only $1,300 short of our
The
estimate.
estimate.
The estimate.
So we were really pretty close.
That's very close.
Yeah. And I had the expenses right down to under $1.
Oh, 920, I got 9, did you send it out after 927?
33 cents left, I think, in our
I-
expense budget.
It
We were in the
should
green.
have a 10
Can't
something.
get a
I
stamp
got
though.
it.
You didn't get it?
I have 927 is my last one I got.
Okay, I will send it to you prompt. I thought I sent that out.
All right.
I was-
Y'all don't forget, we've been having, I don't know, email issues for
Technical
last week.
difficulties.
We're hoping we've got it now resolved, so.
Yeah, 927 was the last one I got.
Okay, it may
The
have gotten
60s, they were
caught in
talking
one of the
people on the
glitches. We
phone.
lost
You
all
know
our
somebody.
paperwork here one day.
The phone system here is amazing,
Yeah.
So we're in trouble for
too.
the
The rotary.
Yeah, not quite that bad.
Alrighty, so we'll move on to unanticipated business. Are we still on budget? Do we still got more
No,
budget?
we are done with budget.
I know you called me about the animals in the building.
Animals in the building. We have had complaints about the animals in the building and folks bringing their dogs in, and one of them sort of used the treasure collector's office as a little bathroom, and the girls were cleaning that up.
Oh, that's downstairs.
Downstairs.
So is it just the senior or they're allowed to come throughout the entire building?
Now people are bringing them into the senior center and into the
Why
building.
is that?
And they're non-service dogs,
They're
correct?
non-service dogs.
Or service animals.
Is there,
Just for,
That's weird.
is there a policy for the town buildings?
No.
No.
We never had it in writing, but we never
I
allowed.
think it was kind of,
That
yeah, I
doesn't
think it was
seem-
implied.
Common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? I
Yeah.
used to bring my greyhounds into my office all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To work?
Is he the mayor though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Well,
I don't know.
But you've had some people complain about,
I've had-
they were afraid of dogs or,
one individual's terrified of dogs, doesn't even want to see one, and, you know,
do they,
Isn't that kind of unsanitary though?
well, people have allergies, and this one
what's
particular...
going around right now?
Oh, it was the Boston vets, Northampton vets. We're talking about leptosporiasis, which is a bacteria that comes from the urine. And when the dogs walk through, if they're walking outside, they can walk through rodent urine, and then they lap their paws. And then when they go to lap somebody's hand, if you've got a cut, it transfers the bacteria, and human beings can get pretty sick from it. So it causes
Liability too on the town if
kidney
someone had a kid in
disease.
here
I
and
don't see why
someone's dog
people need to
nipped
bring their
the-
dogs.
Yeah.
But
Well, little kids
Or
are in
if
the
they're
building with
vaccinated.
parents,
If
and
they have, if they're not
Well, and
licensed
then
or
if you're bringing one
vaccinated.
dog in, it applies to all dogs, and some people have certain things with certain dogs,
Right.
right?
Well, the other issue there is sometimes you have, on the rare occasion, you have multiple, and I'm going to say dogs, and
Right.
I think we got
And
people
they get
bringing
after,
cats in.
get
but-
after each other.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
rabbits, geckos,
Yeah.
Monkeys.
snakes. Just gross. Okay, so what can we do, what can we do?
I mean, it seems like a public health issue to have dogs running around and defecating, especially in employees' offices.
That was-
And it's like, that's
And the
an issue.
brought his dog and just said, oh, well, that happened. I guess.
So can the Board of Health send a letter or something like that?
I think you
I hadn't heard about
Well, if you
that.
had your own private office and no one knew about it, but to let it just rummage through City Hall or Town Hall, that
Yeah.
could be. So what can we do is, can
You
we,
should placard
We can.
the doors and just say, you know, service animals only.
okay.
I mean, we can set policy. Does the town select board,
Well,
would you
either-
prefer to set policy?
Either one can, and then it's just a question of, okay, are you trying to set it, or is either board want to set it for town hall, or is it for all town buildings?
I mean, is this something that we should vote on and then maybe go in front of the
And-
Board of Selectmen and bring it and ask them, you know, what their
Do you want us to bring
opinion
this
is?
to you guys, Matt?
Sure.
We
Yeah.
can,
Yeah,
And then
sure.
and if we're both on it, then it just makes it more.
I mean, it's just, there's the fairness thing with all of it. I mean, you know, to speak to your dogs, like they're kind of, those are, I'm familiar with them, they're fairly sleepy, docile.
Oh, God, yeah.
But then you've got,
But they're-
you know, I'll speak to my dog, which is a little Jack Russell Terrier, and he's amped up. And then you go all the way, and you go all the way to like a bull mastiff in a Newfoundland. It's like a bear walking.
right, you have a 180-pound dog.
Or then you get into people's minds about pit bulls and everything else, and whatever your
Oh, yeah.
persuasion is on that, and it's like,
Right,
it's just,
Yeah.
Or Akitas, they can.
Right,
be
let's-
things.
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
And then it's
there's-
like,
Any dog can be dangerous.
you know, if it's classified as a dog, it's welcome
Yeah.
here, but if, you know, if it's not, then it's not. I think you're gonna have to have it, you can't just be like, oh, well, you know,
Yeah, and
certain dogs are
I
fine.
think- I think-
In fairness, it
it's
should be
not the
service
breed.
dogs.
Yeah,
only.
service
I think
dogs.
service animals.
And
I
I'm
would say.
just trying to think of like, you know, why would the police have that? Why would the fire department? I mean, the fire department doesn't even have room for an animal to run.
They don't have room for themselves.
I don't even remember the sound.
they don't have a Dalmatian.
They don't have a Dalmatian. The school,
I think does the school have a policy on, they must have, I mean, they have all the allergens up there, the allergen awareness
can check.
battery. But I mean,
We can
for-
check.
for now,
I would check there because they may have a therapeutic program.
right,
but
that's
that would
going
be
on, and-
service oriented. I think
That
they
would
bring
be
in a dog
service
for fire
right.
stuff too, but that's still all service related stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so I think we'll just handle the town hall, because that's where the complaint's coming in right now, and we can check with the school, but, so do we make a motion to
I do know the school that brings in,
the therapeutic dog?
no,
or-
like
This has been
chickens,
more than
then
one
they like
occasion?
to watch the chickens
Is this a
hatch.
regular
So I don't know if that falls underneath an animal.
Yeah,
Where
there
they
was.
walk in
I know they do that like in the
bills, like,
springtime.
where-
That's for the science, so that's more of a science education.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I do know they,
I don't
one of the classes
see
does
a lot
that.
For
of
educational
them,
purposes.
But
It's-
I get.
they're not
the
bringing in pet
complaints
chickens.
about
No.
it.
Yeah.
And
Come in
I
class
think
with them.
some people, if you bring a small child in and you've got a bigger dog,
Yeah,
you know, it can be a
yeah.
little scary
That
for
puts the
a kid.
town.
And I'm unusual because I'm more afraid of the small dogs than I am the big
There you go.
dogs.
Yeah.
The ankle biters.
Yeah,
I have lots
I
of
wasn't gonna
kids
say
that
that,
like the
but
small
yeah.
dogs.
I mean, but
Yeah.
that puts the
Because
town
they're
to a
weird.
liability if
They
someone's
jump,
under pet
yeah.
on our property.
They
and
jump to that.
Bit someone's kid, like, that's a whole nother, so.
can of worms, yeah.
We don't need that kind of.
No,
worms.
so I would say,
I think it's for be up for all town buildings, unless it's service related or educational related or.
And that's the way it
project.
was before. It
Yeah.
just was never
It was
in
just implied.
writing.
In writing,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I just think we just need to put it in writing.
Yeah.
all righty.
So who's
the
putting it
motion-
in writing?
Are we can do that one, and then we'll just bring it to you guys.
Yeah.
We'll do a motion on it tonight, and
Sure.
then we'll bring it to you guys. So I'll make a motion that we placard, especially the town hall, that it's service animals only, no private pets.
Second?
Third.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And your next meeting is
The 30th.
the
Tuesday.
30th.
30th,
Okay, so
30th at 6.
October, okay. So we're going to do the placards.
Yes, and service animals, just because they come in all shapes and sizes
Right.
these days.
I
Yes, they
know.
do. And all types.
Yes.
It's not just dogs.
That's us, and the, yeah. Yeah, the kick-
Are we doing town hall?
Peacock.
Right now, and are we doing everything?
town
Just,
buildings?
this wouldn't affect other animals, like, are there like fish at the school?
So I think for like educational purposes, like they were mentioning, like that
Only
they
piranhas.
at the school they do like chickens, like they hatch chickens.
yeah.
So I mean,
I want to make sure that this is.
yeah, I mean,
That's what we were saying, educational
I mean, you
purposes.
said like common sense prevails. So if they're doing an educational thing to watch like lizards or chickens
Yeah.
hatch or tadpoles
mice
with frogs,
Yeah.
something along
They're all
those lines.
contained.
And obviously,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, okay.
But there's a difference between having chickens in a classroom for educational purpose than bringing your pet chicken to class.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're,
Yeah.
Well, the chickens don't stay there for any length of
Yeah.
time.
No,
we'll just
no, no,
make
no,
sure
no,
that
once they
that's
hatch, they
worded
usually move
correctly
on.
so that
Right.
people can't use this.
Yeah.
We don't have it, no, they were
Right,
just
I
saying,
know,
the
negative
Board of
way,
Selectmen
you know, or
is the
to come,
third,
you
yeah.
know,
right.
use it
We haven't
against
done
this.
ours yet.
If you just
No.
use it.
If I
Aren't
were
they
to
gonna
get a
be,
school
isn't somebody
committee for
gonna wanna
that,
go to
let
this?
them
Yes.
Is that why we're?
Yes, Jerry's gonna do a lot, yes, yes.
All right, so it's town buildings?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's just do it at the town hall now.
You want to just do town
Yeah.
hall right now? Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, police and fire are not going to have
They can-
chickens and animals.
Library.
School libraries.
See, that's why I'm thinking, if you're doing it for one,
Maybe we should
where's
just do
the,
it right across.
where's the equity piece?
Right.
That's what I'm worried about too, but
Yeah.
the only thing I was going with on that is like regular people don't just wander into the police station, fire department, highway department. They're frequenting this place. You're right about the library.
Library.
I mean, yeah, the two.
The
library-
school does that. You do have a point on the school if people are going to pick up their kids, but they're supposed to be in that line. So I don't know.
Yeah, we can just check.
We can
with the school.
talk with the school board, we can meet with the school
Yeah.
board, and then, but I think the library, we can add them with
Yeah.
service animals only.
Yeah.
Placard for the library.
Yeah.
and
Yep.
And the
town
town hall. And I think the fire chief and the police chief can handle their buildings.
Right.
Randall on the highway.
Well, take care of the highway. But yeah,
Okay.
Probably needs an animal.
You might.
Yeah.
the dog, the pet.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Anything else?
Anything else, Jerry, for unanticipated?
I think we're good. I will do the placards and
And when was our next meeting? We're looking at November 6th.
November 6th.
Any sporting event going on that day? No, it's a Tuesday, so that's good. Matt, you said you weren't available that
I won't
day?
be able to make
It was November 6th to the 13th.
Are you available the 13th, Matt? Because that's when, I mean, that'd be kind of neat for you to meet people from the,
I have a select board meeting.
Select board meeting.
okay, so we'll do the 6th then, and then,
That's fine.
All right, do you want me to, I can see if they can.
That's election day.
Oh,
which one, the
yeah.
6th?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I did. For some reason, I got it in my head that
Yeah.
it's the 5th.
Yeah.
so-
I keep thinking it's the 4th.
It's already done.
Let
Yeah,
me see what
there
I
is election
can
day, so
do
I have my phone, too.
with Kelly and Lauren.
Okay.
All right, and I'll get back to you.
Okay,
and then you
we'll
can-
post, yeah, we'll do,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, we will not do
All
it.
right, we'll hold on next
Gets a little
meeting.
busy here.
Yeah, it's getting to be that time of year.
Yeah.
So much going on.
Get fired up with the elections, or with the voting going on.
Especially the questions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think there's more talk
People are
going on.
crazy in the hospitals right now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's about the
insane.
questions.
It's nutty, like I'm in the ERs all the time, and it's,
The hospitals are like distributing their own stuff to their own employees. You walk into people's offices and they got hooked on right up.
yeah. Yeah, make a motion to close the meeting?
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Let's see if we can do this, so I don't have to climb up there.
That-